Hey guys, it is a downright balmy 33 degrees here in Cincinnati. I was running some errands today and I'll show you a couple things that I ended up picking up. This first thing here, is this huge tub of books. So this I picked up off of an online estate sale for Caring Transitions. I basically bid on it because it was really cheap at the time. And I said there were a bunch of books, some 1800s books or whatever in here. I didn't think it was this big.
That's what she said.
Honestly, I actually don't think I can even lift this out of the car by myself. And I ended up getting this for 10 bucks. So I think the bin by itself is probably worth 10 bucks. So obviously I've got a lot in here to kind of go through, so we'll see what's worth selling, what's not worth selling. But excited to go through all that. And then here I've got a bunch of board games, and you guys know I love board games. I got these on Facebook Marketplace, and there's some puzzles as well. Some of these I've never seen before, and I'll take them in and look them up, and then kind of give you guys an idea of what I think they'll sell for. But things like, this funky Phantom game, I've never seen that before. The SWAT game. So this Stop Thief down here, I've sold this one before. This one typically sells for right around 35 or so. And there's the 1975 Stratego. These sell very well, and I saw the Ouija board in there as well. Obviously I have to look at them and see what all is in there, but those typically do very well also. So I ended up I paid $50 for everything, which I know sounds like a lot. But with Stop Thief, I know selling for about 35. And then I think this Bermuda Triangle game, I think that one sells for right around 30 as well. I think with just those two, we're already going to be in the profit. I think we've got some other really good ones in here. And then with the puzzles, I don't do a ton with puzzles. He just wanted to get rid of everything at once. So I'll look these all up and see, if they're... I'm gonna look them up first and see if they're even worth counting to see if all the pieces are there. So we'll see what those are gonna go for. But I'm gonna get this stuff inside. I will do some research and I will talk to you guys shortly. All right, hey guys. So been able to go through all of the board games and the puzzles. The books I have not started on. That's way more books. That's a whole nother thing. So these board games are awesome. So I'm going to go through a couple of these and the comps, including one that you're really not going to believe the comp on it. I certainly didn't. And I'm also just going to go into a little in depth as far as reselling into reselling board games. Board games were one of the first things that I started reselling a few years back. One of the first things I really started to kind of dig into a bit. The reason I like them is because they're usually $1. And if you get the right ones, you can do very well with them. There's obviously some drawbacks to board games. They don't all move super fast, and you got to go through them if you want to, right? You go through them and make sure they're complete. And that's what takes the most time, really, is checking to see if certain games are complete. There's some games that I won't mess with, like Risk. There's just way too many pieces, and I just don't feel like going through that type of stuff any longer. Okay, so first we'll look at this Bermuda Triangle game. I thought this one looked pretty cool. It's like also a battleship type game where you're trying to survive the Bermuda Triangle, which I thought was pretty cool. So the comps for this one are somewhat all over the place. I'm thinking realistically, this one's right around $20 game. We've got some comps at $19.99, $20, $28, $18. So right around that $20 range, I think, is what we'll be shooting for with that one. Ouija boards, these still seem to do pretty well. If you see these and they're cheap, and if it has the planchet, a lot of people are always looking for that little guy there. So these are always worth checking out. These are still going for right around 15 to 20 bucks as well. This is one I hadn't seen before. This is not really a game, I guess. This is Crystal Climbers. This is a colorful interlocking plastic cylinders. So just these cylinders, I guess you can build things with. So they're kind of cool. I've seen the comps on these for right around 25 to 30. This is just basic checkers. This is a 1982 version. It's actually in really good condition. I think this is right around 12 to 13, which is kind of my cutoff point for most games. I don't typically want to mess with them unless it's going to go for 12 or more. Stratego, I absolutely love selling Stratego. These seem to do really well. They don't take super long either. This is the 1975 version. I would say your 70s version, 72, 75, those are typically the best ones. And what I really like about Stratego is it's very easy to tell if it's complete. You can just pop it open, and if it looks like this, it's complete. You've got all the pieces. So that's what I really like about Stratego. This version, I believe, right around 25. I think that's what I listed this one at, was 25. So yeah, I've listed 6 of these games already, and I've got the other ones all pictured. These are all really, these are all pretty simple to see if they're complete. There's not too many pieces, which is great. Stop the Thief. So this is the reason I actually kind of looked at the listing. So I guess I don't think I explained this, but these were all this was on a Facebook Marketplace post, and I saw the Stop the Thief. And I sold this one before. I knew this one was like a $35 game. So that was the first reason I kind of looked at it. I saw this, I saw Stratego. I was like, okay, I can probably make some money here. He did want, I paid $50 for everything, if I hadn't mentioned that before. This game is really cool. It's an electronic cops and robbers game. It's got this little police scanner, which is really cool. This is tested and working as well. So yeah, this one is right around $30 to $35 game. So if you see this one out in the wild, I would recommend at the very least checking it and looking up if you want to sell board games. The Funky Phantom. I've never seen this one before. This is seems kind of like a Scooby-Doo spoof almost. This one's right around $15, $20 game. I think everyone knows about Happy Days. This game is right around 12, 13. Not super great, but again, if you find it for $1, it's not bad at all. Same with Payday. I've sold this one a couple times. This is right around 13 to 15 as well. So this Star Wars jigsaw puzzle is actually pretty good. I've seen a lot of different versions, I guess, of these Star Wars puzzles. This is a Kenner. It's 1,000 pieces, which is a pain in the butt to count. But this one sells for right around $40, so it's not too shabby. And we've got NFL Quarterback, which is really cool. This one sells for right around $30, and this one's not too difficult either. There's just some cards in it, and these little things here, so really easy to check. So one thing. Let's see, we'll look at this game here. So one thing to kind of keep in mind, I guess, when selling board games, no, not that one. It's a different one. So this one here is a $6 Million Man. These are both $6 Million Man, so I'm going to put these two together. This is Bionic Crisis. But one thing I like to point out is if you're going to sell if you're going to sell board games, it's really good to have a stack of rubber bands handy and plastic bags. So with games that have like a ton of cards like this, if you can just to make it easier on the person that buys it, right? If you just wrap it in a rubber band, you're going to keep it, nice and neat in the box. They don't have to go searching for all the pieces. Especially like little pieces like this. If you can throw these in a little Ziploc bag instead of having them rolling around, I think people like things like that. I also like to use rubber bands to keep the boxes closed during shipping. Some at thrift stores, you'll see them, they'll tape the boxes. You don't want to do that because you tape the box and chances are you're going to rip off some of the artwork on the box. So don't tape them, rubber band them if you need to keep them down. The other thing about board games for a lot of people is the shipping of them and the boxes, because they're odd shaped, so it's kind of hard to find a good box for them. So I go to my Barnes and Noble dump, and I grab boxes out of there all the time. This one is a 19 by 13 3/8 by 8 7/8. Very, very specific. And it doesn't, when you look at it, you don't think that it would fit most board game boxes, but let's see here. The biggest one I have here, so the biggest one I have is the Bermuda Triangle game, and it'll slide right in there because of the height of it. It'll slide right on in there pretty much perfectly. It slides right on in there for you. So the smaller ones will fit even better than that. So that's just some of the things that I do when I'm selling board games. Now the last one, the best one, save the best for last. It's this Kenner Alien game. I saw it in the picture. I guess I should have looked it up at the time. I didn't look it up. I didn't think a whole lot of it until I saw that it was Kenner. So this game sells for, the comps are between, I've seen 91 up to 125. I have mine listed at 110 right now, so we will see how that goes. But this is a great game. Great game to look for. There's hardly any pieces to it. There's just a game board, there's one die, and then you've got your instructions in there, and a couple of game pieces. And some of the pieces were still unpunched out, which is great. So these are the types of games that you really want to look for. It's the ones that don't take a whole lot of work to verify that they're complete, and the ones that sell for a lot, obviously. So I really like board games. You don't have to test them typically. You're not going to break them more often than not, and they're almost always going to be cheap. So if you're interested, I would highly recommend just kind of starting look through some board games at sales and just kind of look some things up. Yeah, go from there. All right, I think that's it for today's video. Appreciate you guys watching. Until next time, stay curious.